Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about our experience with RFE from the USCIS. RFE stands for Request for Evidence, and we received our RFE prior to our NOA2 or our Notice of Approval. So firstly, I'd like to thank you guys for watching and commenting on my previous videos about this US immigration journey. And I noticed also that in my channel analytics, I am getting traffic from the United States. So I'll do my best to keep this content in English. I can't promise you that, but I'll try my very best. And also, please don't mind me looking here because here's my laptop and I have my notes on here so I don't, just so I can keep this content more organized than usual. So yeah, thank you so much once again for the returning viewers, and for the new ones, hey, your comments are very much welcome, and please be nice in the comment section. Do like this video and don't forget to subscribe to this channel to get more content about our US immigration journey. Yeah, so just a quick background. My name is Cassandra and I am from the Philippines. My fiance is from the United States, and we started this process back in April 2022. Now it is, as I'm filming this video, it's July 14th, 2023. So it's been over a year since we started the process. And right now our current status is we're waiting on the case number from the National Visa Center, or NVC. It has been over 45 days since our approval, and we're looking into between 60 to 90 days to get our case number. So yeah, but before we got to our approval, or NOA2, we did receive a request for evidence. So here is our request for evidence timeline. Our status updated to RFE sent in mail May 10, 2023. So we received the actual letter or request for evidence from USCIS in mail, the physical letter, after 6 days. So May 16, it arrived in the mail. We need to wait for this letter because it's in the letter where USCIS will tell you what they need for you to submit. So the status update on their website will only say that an RFE letter was sent to the mail, but it won't say anything about what's required from you to submit. And then a day later, May 17, 2023, we complied and mailed all the required evidences. So we sent that, we dropped it off in the post office, and then 2 days later, May 19, 2023, our status on the USCIS website updated to response received. And then not so long after that, 11 days later, May 30, 2023, our case status was approved, updated to approved. And then we received the physical NOA2 or approval notice in mail 7 days later, which is June 6, 2023. So from the time that it updated to request for evidence, May 10, it took about 20 days to get our case updated to approved. Now this is completely dependent on how quick you can send your response to NVC. So in our case, we submitted it like a day after we received the physical mail, the RFE mail. You need to send the physical copy of the RFE together with your evidences. That's why you really need to wait for the letter. And also, the letter will tell you what you need to submit. So what is an RFE? An RFE, as the name suggests, it's simply a request for more documentation, and it means that the USCIS officer is currently reviewing your application and they need more information before he or she can make a decision. So an RFE does not mean that your application is going to be denied, or even that it is more likely to be denied than you hadn't gotten an RFE. So there's really nothing to worry about receiving an RFE, because you just need to submit what they are asking for. They just need further evidence. And it is very important that you respond to the request for evidence and provide as much of the requested evidence as possible by the deadline indicated on the notice. So you need to pay attention to that as well. Not just the requirements, but more importantly, the deadline. So if your RFE requests more than one document, you have to send everything together in one response packet. So if you don't meet the deadline, USCIS will make a decision based on the information and documents they already have, and that often means your application will be denied. That is if you fail to respond to the RFE. So important things that we have to note with the RFE are the following. So your original request for evidence notice, not a photocopy, should be the first page of your response packet. And you only get one response to an RFE. So normally, I think for us, we had like a number of options of evidences that we needed to submit to the USCIS. We gather it all together and submitted like this thick, a packet this thick to USCIS all at once. And the top page, or the cover page, was our RFE notice, and then after that we also included a table of contents wherein it detailed what evidences we submitted. If there are documents that you've photocopied from your original application, you should note that they came from that original application. So provide any necessary explanations. Like for example, one of the common RFEs out there is that their birth certificate is bilingual, and one of the languages is English, but you are asked to submit a translation. So if ever you've already submitted a translation of your birth certificate in your initial packet, you can point out that the birth certificate was already in English and there was already a translation included in the first packet, but then you still have to submit what they requested for, just to make sure that they get it and to avoid the further delay. The response deadline will be stated either as a date or as a number of days. So if it's stated as a number of days, you should start counting from the date that it appears in the first page in the RFE, which means the date that the RFE was issued, and it is not calculated from the day that you received the RFE from the mail. So everything you have to refer on the paper, what is written on the paper as the date of the deadline, or as the number of days. USCIS does not follow the mailbox rule. In other words, the date you popped your response in the mailbox doesn't really matter. You must make sure that USCIS receives your response by the deadline that it stated in your RFE. So you have to track your mail, and you always have to check on the USCIS whether they received it or not. So you don't just send it and just let it go. You need to track your packet and make sure it is received by USCIS. You should also photocopy your entire RFE response package, including the original RFE notice. When you mail it back to USCIS, make sure you have a way to track the package and confirm that it was delivered. And you need to keep this proof of delivery with your photocopied RFE package, because anything can happen. It's best to have all these documents or photocopies as a backup. All right, so in our case, USCIS asked us to produce evidences of our intent to marry. So I'm gonna flash it somewhere here on screen, but basically it says that we should submit evidence from the beneficiary, which is me, of my intention to marry my petitioner within the 90 days of her admission to the United States as a K-1 non-immigrant. the evidence of the intention to marry may include, so, and I quote, may include. It is not necessary for us or you to provide everything that has been enumerated on the letter, but rather it gives you an option which one you would want to produce as the evidence. But you know, the last bullet point here, any other evidence that establishes by a preponderance of the evidence your mutual intent to marry. So it's basically saying that produce as much evidence as you can. So to name the evidences that were required, we needed to submit evidence of the wedding preparations. We could not prepare, obviously, a wedding because, you know, we don't know when I'm flying in, but we have conversations talking about where we're getting married, who we're gonna invite, wedding rings and clothings and stuff like that. So I just placed a screenshot of our conversations and then I compiled that. So that's one. Second is evidence of ongoing communication. So I screenshotted our Skype conversations, FaceTime conversations, Messenger communications, everything, mails. I screenshotted everything. And then third bullet point, correspondence discussing your future and our marriage. So it's kind of similar to the first one. Second, number 4 is evidence of financial support. My fiance is not, and I repeat, not sponsoring me in any financial way, but then he does send money for, like, example, one time he wanted me to go to the spa and he booked an appointment online. However, it did not, for some reason, allow him to pay online, but he already made the booking. So what he did was he sent me the money and I went to the spa and I paid it myself. So that tracking for us financial support, we included that. So next is evidence of subsequent meetings. We did meet twice after we submitted the packet. So we had a lot of photos together, as well as, you know, hotel bookings and flights and boarding pass. So I included that as well. Next is evidence of an engagement ceremony. Now my fiance arranged an engagement ceremony together with my family and friends. So we did also have a lot of evidences that we could put under this category: pictures, receipts, rings, and all that. So next is evidence that you and your beneficiary family and friends are aware of the relationship. So this include marriage. This included photos as well as testimonies. Like I had my mom and my friend sign a letter testifying or attesting that they know about our relationship and that it exists and that it's legal and that it's valid and it is true. So lastly is birth certificates of born to the relationship. We have no kids together, so this is basically not applicable. And yeah, so there are like 8 possible evidences that we could submit, and out of the 8, 7 was applicable to us. Therefore, we provided 7 type of evidences, and that's why our packet was this thick. And yeah, not too long after we sent our packet, it was 11 days after that, we got approved. And now we're just waiting on NVC, and then we can start the ball rolling with the U.S. Embassy Manila requirements, as well as their medical at SLEC. So I'm very anxious and at the same time impatient about all this, but you know, we're trying to hold it together. It's not just a simple process of going through the steps. It actually involves a lot of mental and emotional, I wouldn't necessarily say stress, but you know, there's a lot going on in the background as well. Like our life is on hold because of this process, on hold because I couldn't basically do anything. I cannot, like for example, I just got a promotion with my current job, and I really want to do more for the company that I work for, but however, you know, this is a priority. Like being with the person that I love is a priority more than anything. So, but that doesn't make, it doesn't spare me from feeling sad about not being able to do the things that I would have loved to be doing or accomplishing. At the same time, it also saddens me that, again, I'm leaving my family, leaving my friends, leaving my home, leaving my dog, all that shebang. So anyway, yeah, bottom line, don't worry if you receive an RFE, just read carefully through the letter and then submit your evidence before the deadline. Track your package if it reaches the USCIS, and then yeah, just wait for their further updates. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below, and I will try to get back to you as much as I can and help you out. You're not alone in this journey. We're in this together, and yeah, good luck to everyone. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, bye.